Good morning, everyone. This is Redfirefly with Noobcast Gaming. I'm doing another game review. As a lot of people know, that my worst race the race that I really am not good at, is Terran. I'm doing pretty well with Zerg, doing pretty well with Toss, but lately I've been playing random and playing Terran to get used to it. So we're going to be watching one of my quote-unquote Terran builds, which ends up being a pretty decent build, but it's sort of interesting. You can tell that Terran's not my strongest point. So we are going to speed up the game a little bit, and we're just going to watch from my point of view as Redfirefly. And as you can see, I am very unhappy that I got Terran. I don't think the person that I was talking to even understood. Okay. So right here you can see that I build 10. I'm starting to do that with almost every build that I do, is that I build about 10 or 11, and then I will build like a supply depot. Here you can see I'm building 2 supply depots because my intention is to build a barrack and land the barrack here. That's my favorite thing to do with this map here. It's actually a common build too that you might see, that some people will find some way to rush to proxy right around here or down here in order to attack. So you always want to be careful. And I'm just building off some kind of wall so that if they do rush, that there's something that they see and they're like, oh, I probably should not attack. In the meantime, if you look at my allies, you see here is a Terran player who just built 1 supply depot, and he's right now flying over his barrack from a far, far distance. I'm not sure how smart that is. I would have probably done that a little closer. And he's building another barrack here. You can see here that I have 2 barracks going on here. Oh, I'm vaguely remembering how this game goes too, because this is a game I played over 3 weeks ago. And that's what I'm starting to do, is save games and then do a review a few weeks later. That way I'm not as remembering what happens. And I'm vaguely remembering what happens, so I'm not going to tell you what happened. As you can see here, that one of my allies came and tried to see what was going on with our opponent. Over here, see, Toss did a 4-gate. Doesn't have anything coming out yet. He's just built his 4-gate, he's getting ready, and pretty much he's learning how his research so that he can start pumping things out a lot faster. Building another thing here. This is a decent build right here, especially getting these out, but if he got attacked early game, he didn't have anything to protect himself, so he'd have to defend himself with his probes. You can see here that there is now a pylon that's really, really close, and the opponent can see that pylon, and can see those stalkers too. At the same time, massing a bunch of Marines right there. Yeah, waiting for them to attack us. We don't really know what's going on their side. If you're building proxy pylons, build a whole bunch of proxy pylons around, because that way you're not limited. So let's say they did take out this one right here, you would still have one around. So you could see here that computer did make another proxy pylon right here, which is beneficial. At that same time, I did expand to here, where they least expect me. And I'm just pumping up Marines right out here. Oh, so they attack our allies, and they chose the best side to attack, the one that doesn't have anything. So right here I go and I start attacking Buckaroo. Ooh, they have medevacs, which actually makes it a bit harder for me, and they start wiping me out. Ugh. Buckaroo is the one who harasses us like verbally throughout the majority of the game. I'm very curious what happened here. Oh, some of the stalkers came out. So they start trying to attack me, so I start making myself float away to here. So I start rebuilding here. Buckaroo is the one that is doing quite well. You can see here Purple is doing an awesome job, Porcupine, in taking out Blue. He took out Blue's command center, and now he's just taking out anything and everything in his sight. So most importantly, take out the tech labs, take out the reactors. He's taking out this right here. Stevenbill, well played. Yeah, sort of sucks. And of course, if you have medevacs, medevacs are very powerful. So of course, there's a chance here that Buckaroo can catch up, go back and beat us out of our own game. I don't think he realizes that we're up here. But in the meantime, I'm just rebuilding. And I decide that's probably the best thing to do. Oh, goodbye, Stevenbill. Well, makes sense. The best thing for me to do is learn concussive shells and mass a bunch of marauders. Marauders are really, really awesome. Very powerful ground units. And in the meantime, building another barrack. I have another starport here, which means that I'm going to be building a reactor and getting out medevacs. That's going to be the most successful for me. This game actually goes on for quite a while. It's about a 50-minute game because Buckaroo does not give up. He's actually a very good player. I will give him that. He's a very good, micromanager. Big props to him because he's a very good micromanager. And he lasts the game for quite a while trying to annoy us to death. There is a point, even so that you're good, that maybe you're just not going to make it. But there is a chance that you can make it, and I give him props for that, for sticking into the game and lasting as long as he did. Excuse me, I'm actually having breakfast while I'm doing this because today is a big multitask day for me. I owed you guys some videos, and on top of that, I do owe myself some articles to put on Noobcast Gaming, and on top of that I have some projects for work and a website that I'm working on too. And on top of that I work later this afternoon. So you can see here this base here going out a bunch of siege tanks, and I'm filling them up because my goal is to take out this guy right here because he's the strongest. You can see here that Kremation doesn't have much going on. He does try to take his command center and try to expand out somewhere, which painfully doesn't work out. So getting out some banshees too, and just pumping out things as fast as I can. And of course I steal this place right here. It's really risky to steal this because sometimes your allies are not so happy about it, but my allies have their own expansions. They weren't doing anything here, and I waited a while, and so I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to take it over. Purple, for the most part, will expand at some point. I just don't know when. Yellow just recently started another expansion, which is right over here. Let's take a look right here at resources. Seeing me being orange, I have one of the strongest resources. Light blue here does have a lot of resources. Purple has a lot of resources, and I can see that's probably why he's not expanding. And they attack right here. Red, I just dropped on red. I miss these things, don't I? So I just drop on red, and I take out as much as I can, being smart on what I attack. So because I have medevacs, and of course I have marauders, I take out, and tanks. I take out his command center. My goal is to take out his supply depots, take out his reactors, take out his tech labs. That, in all, will slow him down. If you can see here, it's starting to take down a lot and capping him. His ally, Kremation, comes and tries to slow me down, and he does a pretty good job at it. And he comes back and drops back and tries to slow me down. It's fine. At least I did what I was meant to do by doing that, which is slow him down. Still expanding as fast as I can. At the same time, my ally, going mass stalkers, go and attack Kremation. Seeing what's going on right here, you can easily assume that they expanded into this area here, because Kremation doesn't have a command center here. So we're doing an awesome job just slowing them down, harassing them down. Because if you do a good job harassing them, you could also win the game. This is actually something I don't usually try. I don't try auto turrets. Angry Asian, when he first started playing this game, did a lot of auto turrets. I haven't seen him do it in quite a while. It could be beneficial, could not be beneficial. You can see here that I'm pretty sure that that right here, Buckaroo is actually keeping controlling Kremation's units too. And right here, I have some more units, and I go and I attack here because I have the big feeling that they have a bunch of expansions here, and I am correct. because the whole point is to slow them down as much as possible. Trying to take them down as much as I possibly can. At the same time, you can see that I have abundance of minerals, not a lot of gas. I'm hoping to get more gas and continue to build. At the same time, I'm still pumping in more units, pumping in more things. I'm trying my best to micromanage, just trying to get better and better at building, multitasking, and creating a lot of hotkeys, which is one of the key things about being an upper level, is to hotkey everything. As you can see here that I do have a lot of things hotkeyed, including like SCVs. I do have, see, you could see that I am going between things, but I'm not going in as fast as some other players that you'll see in other replays. This guy right here, I need money. Well, you should have expanded, silly. It's fine. If he wanted money, he sends a request. I could send him some stuff. It isn't like I don't have anything at all. You can see here I'm starting to just mass things out. Building up some Vikings, doing some SCVs, learning some new things on the armory, continuing to build. You can see here that Buckaroo had upgraded his things, and he's actually going to go in and try to take us out, which is great. I give him tons of props. Like, this was an awesome game. Here I have a lot of things going on. If he had attacked this base right here, this is actually where my main base is, which a lot of people don't think. A lot of times your main base is where you start off. Like this guy right here, his main base is here. My main base is not here. Goes and he drops right here on me, which actually slows me down a little bit, but not a ton. So he goes, takes out my command setters, start taking things out. Luckily for me, Porcupine is here to slow him down a little bit, but Porcupine's men here is no match at all, which is fine. Slows me down a little bit, that's fine. Caps me up a bit, but I use this opportunity to drop again, or use my Banshees to take down some more. Take him down some more, and I build an additional base right here. So I'm not going to cry about it. This is an interesting scene to see a bunch of barracks just fly away to nothing. Not going anywhere. So just attacking and dropping at the same time. Might as well try to slow Buckaroo down some more. He's multitasking because you know that he is right now concentrating on here and concentrating right here. So the whole goal is take out Buckaroo as much as possible. And mind you, I suck at Terran, so all I'm doing is building things, dropping, building things, dropping, building things, dropping more. I'm doing what I do best, which is fast expanding, so I get a bunch of minerals. And he brings everything here and attacks me back. But by doing that, I slow him down some more, as you can see up here, which is fine. I'm surprised that he never notices that I have a supply depot right here. Or he just doesn't care. So I continue to mass, and as you can see here, I'm starting to learn different upgrades for my units. Purple doesn't need any more things. I'm continuing to expand. I have an expansion here, an expansion here. The whole goal is to mass expand so that our opponent can't expand or have a harder time to expand. So as you can see here, we can see that he's going in for another kill. I guarantee that he's a high-level player, especially with the rate that he is micromanaging. It's quite impressive, his micromanaging ability. Oh, interesting. It does do that for me. I love this spacebar because when you have something going on and you press spacebar on the most recent thing, it's like, hey, this is where it was. You can see here I'm almost out of minerals here. Going to be out really soon. But I do have a mass of expansions going on. He goes, tries to take everything out. I think the one thing that was lucky for me in this game is that my main base is over here, as I had said earlier, and not here where he could easily take it out and he expects it. And you can see here I'm going in for another drop-off. And I'm building an expansion here. I'm like, I don't want him to use this area here. You can see here he didn't rebuild here. And there's a good point not to, because he doesn't... It costs 400 to build a command center, and it's sort of pointless to build a command center when you don't really gain much out of it. It's like a scraps build. So I'm trying to take out all of his barracks as much as I possibly can, because he, to me, is the biggest threat this game. Taking out the engineering bays, so that he can't build turrets. And you can see here that he tries moving all of his SCVs away. His ally Kremation tries to protect his base a bit more. My ally right here starts floating away. And this is where he goes for my base, which he retracts for a little bit. I have a planetary fortress here, but there's nothing here. And you can see that taking this out isn't going to do anything. The only thing it's going to do is this right here, where I have the engineering bay going and protecting stuff. Taking off and trying to land somewhere safe, like right here. But trying to take out as much as possible, because that is the goal. To take them out, slow them down as fast as possible. And at the same time, I've expanded quite a bit. My ally decides to land around my base, because that seems to be the safest place ever. Which is fine. So right here, going in, taking out their expansions. I didn't realize that Teal Kremation had so much minerals. And he was building a bunch of, what is it called? The big ships. The problem with those is that they're very, very expensive to make. Taking out as much as possible, which puts them behind. He does have a good set of army right here that, and with his micromanaging skill, could take out quite a bit. So Buckaroo is actually quite a force to be reckoned with kind of person. So taking out as much as possible, slowing him down as much as possible so that he can't build another army. And at this point we know that he's having a hard time rebuilding. It's going to be very hard for him to rebuild. So we have to try to take out as much as possible. I have a secure amount of things going on. I just need quite a bit more gas. You can see here I'm still pumping out as much as possible so that if he takes out one, I'll still be able to take out another. My allies, not doing so hot right now. I mean, I can't deny it for them. They are not doing so well. I'm doing quite decent at this point. Leave some stuff around here. The goal is to take out this base right here. And he probably knows it. We've seen it. All of you people suck. You know what? That's true. I mean, I will never claim that I am good at Terran. I lucked out in this game. And Buckaroo is awesome at micromanaging. It's just a lot of times the game, it changes by different things that go on. And it not necessarily means that, you know, that you're awesome at the game. Or, I mean, micromanaging is a key point of the game, but if it starts off at a wrong foot, it could totally change the game for you. Especially if we are using skills and taking things out. It's just like, it's a battle tactic in general. If I know that I can't attack you, I can't beat you head on, I'm going to use a battle tactic and take you out, which is just part of the whole freaking game. Granted, micromanaging is a very important part of the game. Here he takes out one of my extra bases, which makes me cry a little bit, but it's a-okay. I'm not going to worry about it, because my goal is to take out his base as fast as I possibly can. Here he goes, take out another one of my bases. The funny thing is I go and rebuild as it goes, because he never finds this base here. And I have an abundance of minerals, so all I do is just continue to rebuild. And I take out his opponent's base, slowing his opponent down as much as possible. Right now, I'm very sure that he is probably capped, and the only thing he can do is this right here. I can't take out these guys. They're fully upgraded, and the guy knows how to micromanage it. I can't do shit about that. But I might as well just enjoy it and go for the go as I go. So my goal was to fly around and figure out where they are. I eventually suspect that they're right here. Oh, he starts capping me. Sucks to be me. But as you see here, who cares? I have enough minerals. I'm going to rebuild. He, on the other hand, he's capped, doesn't have enough minerals. I'm just flying around, building, and I'm continually pump things out. A little hard to pump things out now. His ally Kremation tries to drop here and meets my turrets. So that totally doesn't help him much. I finally decide that he must be here and I must attack there. It's all based on technique and on clear thinking, because if you think about it, where else would he be? Oh, right here. The funny thing is that he says, "Ah, good going, you win," and he doesn't quit. Instead, he continues to fight. A lot of times that you would notice is that when people say good going, sometimes you're like, "Oh, they quit. I am going to drop now." Not a lot of times. People don't necessarily always drop. Mine are not as fully upgraded as his yet, and I'm still working on it. I pull them up, and I'm like trying to figure out where the hell did he go. Continually to rebuild, trying to build some more supply depots. Yeah, find his ass. Yeah, exactly. Still have SCV. Ooh. Continually building. And building some more command centers. As you can see here, I'm building as many command centers as I can. And I see what I thought. They're up here. Yes, it was a suicide of SCVs. I knew it. They were up here. I don't know if I... 2 with 3 life. I have no clue what he means by that. Like, my allies have absolutely nothing. It's basically me versus these 3. So I just do what I do best. At this point, you can't see anything, like what you're micromanaging and so forth. Like, he does still a great job micromanaging, but my goal is to slow him down as much as possible and take him out as much as possible, because he's my biggest threat. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So he takes them all out, and I'm just like, yeah, not smart to do it against a really good player, especially one who can micromanage like that. So I'm working on building another army to send in here. Because I know he's here, and it's basically me versus him. Because if you look at my allies, they don't have anything. And I just have a mass of army. So I'm like, building... I should be upgrading. Dang, I didn't even think that. Oh, as well. And obviously I need more gas, so working on that. Should be expanding a bit more. Trying to think of the best way to do this. My allies are building an abundance of these command centers, which doesn't do shit for me at all. In fact, none of this does anything for me. Oh, this was the perfect time to attack, because he takes out his army to attack my ally and slow my ally town. That would be an ideal time for me to attack, and I obviously see that. Because at this point, my allies don't do anything for me than being bait. Sorry, allies. Computer and Porcupine, but at this point, they are bait. So, he takes his whole army, which leaves his base defenseless. Which means what? Ha! Redfirefly can take him out. So that's exactly what I do. I use that opportunity to take out his command centers as best as I possibly can. I mean, I will never, ever, ever, ever say that I'm good at playing Terran. I just use what I would call military tactics and attacked. My ally's like, look, he has stuff right here. Yeah, good job, man. Good job. You can see. Continue to build. Good going again on his side. Calls us noobs. Sore loser. I'll say that. This sore loser. I get it. I mean, it sucks when you lose to anything. You know, I lose to cheese all the time, and it hurts. It sucks. Because you're just like, what the hell? Why did I lose to a cheese? But it's fine. It happens. So I'm just like, I'm building some more things. I'm going to attack him again. Because at this point, it's just me with a bunch of minerals, me upgrading as much as I possibly can, and he has nothing. The only way he can expand now is if he floats somewhere else, which he goes right back here, goes after here. Which I'm sure, like you can see here, he is losing some men through this, which is the whole point. He doesn't have much left, and he's just losing things. So that was like a suicide move on Buckaroo's side. At this point, it's only me versus Kim, what's his name? Kremation again. So I'm just taking out as much as possible. I'm just like, no, I'm not letting you win this game because it's so close. I even have my Vikings on the ground. Ah, he was over here. I have no clue what THS means. If somebody knows, do leave me a message and be like, hey, this is what THS means. But at this time, this is Redfirefly just trying to take out whatever's left of these opponents who is doing their last stand, which is awesome. I mean, I give them full credibility. I mean, Buckaroo was an awesome opponent to play against, really hard to beat, and honestly, he worked very hard. And at this point, I own almost half the board, so I wouldn't even recommend it. My opponent, my allies, what the hell is up with this? Seriously. And then he's building all this here, and it's just like, okay, so you have a few zealots. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. I don't know if that helps me. So they're just being stubborn. Don't want to quit. You can see here we have a floating barrack. Drop off and kill the barrack. Still not enough. That means something else is still alive. And that's the annoying thing when you're flying around the board and you're like, what is left? Why can't they just quit and admit defeat? Nope. They want to be difficult. So I'm just flying around. I'm like, where the hell is the last building? Oh, look. Here it is. On the gold, too. Which is awesome. By the way, my gold's almost empty. So, kill, kill, kill. Trying to take out as much as possible. Dun dun dun. Killing as much as possible. Buckaroo has nothing left. Computer leaves. Porcupine leaves. And the reason that the game is over is because the opponent has no structures left, which means we win. And this is one of those games where Redfirefly sucks at Terran but lucks out in the game due to determination and not attacking my opponent head on all the time, because I knew that my Terran skills, micromanaging with Terran, was not good enough to beat Buckaroo. Sad to say, but I have to admit it. Anyway, this is Redfirefly with Noobcast Gaming. Check out our website, and I'll see you guys all later.